Digital media is rapidly developing nowadays, and it is everywhere in people's life. Social media is one kind that becomes the daily use for people. It becomes an essential form of communication and social networking. Facebook, Twitter, Instagrams, and Snapchats are some of the common social media applications on our cell phones. They start as a form of social networking. On these social media platforms, people have the chance to make friends with strangers and share their personal stories to the public.
Wechat is an all-inclusive Chinese social media application developed by Tencent in 2011. By the end of 2018, it became one of the largest mobile apps by daily active users, with over 1 billion daily active users. The majority of users are from mainland China. In China, people describe it as an app for everything, because it covers a wide range of functions.
Also because the use of WeChat is not restricted by regions, Chinese users can still use WeChat as a way of communication and social networking when they are in foreign countries. It becomes widespread among Chinese international students. The popularization of this Chinese social media in some degree have an impact on this social group. We interviewed 3 Chinese international students about how WeChat influences their identities as international students and sociality. Social networking is probably meaning making friends, get to know people. The first experience I used WeChat is when my mom told me to download this application on my cell phone to talk to her. At first, before downloading this WeChat, I was using emails, Facebook to talk to her, but as one day she had this kind of Chinese social media app and started being wild of using it, and she kind of let me use it as well as a way to communicate with her. At first I would feel kind of reluctant to leave my circle and the friends that I already make on the Facebook. But after a while, I find out WeChat is a kind of way that for most Chinese international students gather around. So it becomes a convenient way for me to talk to my friends, especially my Chinese friends. And nowadays I use it every day. When I wake up, the first thing I check on my cell phone is looking to the WeChat. When I'm not working or studying, I probably just use my time on WeChat. But after I check out the data, the specific number on my cell phone showed me totally shocked me. That it shows nearly 80% of my time is spent on this WeChat. It's just crazy, you know. It kind of occupied my leisure time. And it's a form of socializing. I just think it takes too much time up. It kind of limits people's ability or possibility to do other things, such as just hanging out with friends in reality instead of in this virtual world. It just becomes a really common problem now in the modern society, as people cannot live without their cell phones. I think nearly all my friends are using WeChat. It's quite popular among Chinese international students. I use it while I play video games on PC. So sometimes at night I will just make a video call to them or a voice call, and then we can just play games and while talking to each other.
听到了？
哦，来吧。你好烦啊！你不是杀了我好几次了吗？
没有啊。
真的很烦。
被那个小帅打死了。
真是。
好，666。
我操，你好烦。
I think it kind of benefits me because I make friends on it even more than I make friends on Facebook after I come to the States. Well, in college, because you know the system works like when you take classes and you just leave for one course and you don't really get the chance to talk to people. So the most time you make friends is through the social media. WeChat, I think, is the one that for Chinese international students. It's quite convenient and easy to use. In my personal opinion, it's better than Facebook, Twitter, or other social media.
I use WeChat almost every day. I usually use WeChat to talk to my Chinese friends and also my parents because they're in China and I can't talk to them in person. I usually check WeChat once a week. In terms of like the benefit of WeChat over other social apps like Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and Snapchat. I like WeChat because I use the video chat function very often to chat with my family, and it's very clear. And also the voice message thing is also, very convenient too. There's no like voice message in Messenger, Instagram, or Snapchat, so I really like that. I know in China, WeChat has more function than what we can use in America, such as to do food delivery. Also, like connect your bank account to WeChat, so you can just pay by scanning to a QR code. So I guess definitely WeChat have more function and benefit if you live in China. Not only being a social communication app, WeChat can also be used as like a app that can connect international Chinese students. So we not only chat with our friends, we also have different group chat like second task trading for if we want to post any summer sub-lease for freshmen to spend their time during summer. We can also post on WeChat group chat. Also, if you want to sell a car or something, you can also post on the group chat. So it's kind of like we also use WeChat as like to form a social connection with other Chinese students because usually Chinese international students come to America for their college, so they may get really homesick because in a foreign country for the first time. So it's really important to have the group of friends and people from the same cultural and family background to connect to solve some common problem that they may face in another foreign country. If I didn't use WeChat, I may not meet the friends I have right now, and also I can use the function I mentioned before, like selling textbook and also posting sub-list information. So I feel WeChat now is not only like a communication app, it's also an app that you can find friends and find food and just a lot of function beyond just communication.
When I go to middle school in China, most of my friends are using text message. We don't have iPhone at that time, but when I go to high school, there is a iPhone introduced or Android tablets that allows to use different apps. And one day I just realized that everyone near me are using WeChat instead of using text message. So when I come to America, I firstly use WeChat as an app to make friends, but suddenly I realized that there are more features that allow me to do stuff more than making friends and chatting with friends. I become a WeChat merchant and just selling daily textbook and goods on WeChat. Because WeChat has a feature that allows the people to connect their bank account with it, so we can use the WeChat Pay, and it's so convenient. We don't have to use credit card or cash or any other stuffs. My experience for WeChat kind of transformed from making friends to become a merchant. It brings a lot of convenience to me and brings a lot of benefits to me. Like it allows me to make a lot of extra money for life. However, at the same time, it has a lot of drawbacks. For example, it allows me to stay in the comfort zone and it limits my target consumer circle. It's not like doing business on Amazon, where you can get connected with everyone on internet. You lose the chance to doing business with American people. Also, it's a quarterly thing. So when I'm focusing mostly on WeChat and doing merchandising on WeChat, I don't have much time to explore the American culture. It is an incredible thing that we are living in America, but we can live and doing business without speaking English in our daily life. McLuhan stated in his article Understanding Media that people has finally reached the extension of human, which is a technological extension. Today, when we want to get our bearings in our own culture and have to stand aside from the bias and pressure exerted by any technical form of human expression. In terms of WeChat, it can be viewed as an extension of human thoughts, where its users can express their knowledge and understanding to the rest of the world. WeChat provides a platform for people to share their different story and personalities. For example, to me, I use WeChat to display my merchandises and the cultural references behind it. In McLuhan's words, it helps create individualism as well as cultural impacts.
In Linklatter's article, he described the computer as a communication device, and he writes, "Today, the online communities are separated from one another functionally as well as geographically. Each member can look only to the processing, storage, and software capability of the facility upon which his community is centered. But now the move is on to interconnect the separate communities and thereby transform them into a super community. The hope is that interconnection will make available to all the members of all the communities the programs and data resources of the entire super community. From computers to cell phones, people keep improving our communication device over years. The social media platforms, as the online communities, connects their members within the super communities. From face-to-face communication, they can now make video calls or voice calls between their friends and families. In this case, WeChat connects all the Chinese international students in foreign countries. It provides them not only the ease of communicating overseas, but also a sense of belonging.